17, I was hit by a semi while I was on my way to pick my kids up from school, and the accident resulted in my acquiring a brain injury. My head dropped down, my arms kind of came in this protective way. I started slurring my words, my vision changed, I couldn't really focus my eyes, and I struggled to walk on my own. And I began having what I would call involuntary panic attacks. I would pound my chest with my fist and made these gasping, raspy sounds. I'll demonstrate it. And I couldn't stop it. I couldn't prevent it. Sometimes it would drop me to the ground. The doctors told me that because I didn't have external damage to my head, that I didn't qualify for an MRI. After a couple weeks of experiencing these symptoms, I went in to see my doctor, and he prescribed me Xanax and then told me in about 30 days I would regain my normal cognitive function and sent me home, where I was single parenting my 3 children. The Xanax made things worse. I had side effects that really messed with my mental state. And after 3 doses, I knew that that was not a path I wanted to go down for my recovery or my life. After visiting many concussion specialists, cognitive therapists, vision specialists, the list goes on, I learned that the mainstream methods were not going to be able to help me rebuild my brain. And I witnessed so many people in the support groups experiencing the same thing. I also learned that many people, in fact, most people that have brain injuries or brain trauma don't realize it and have been living that way for many years and have developed interesting coping mechanisms. Some people may have had an accident when they were a baby, really high fevers, sports injuries, strokes, seizures, drinking, drugs, grew up in a home where there was a lot of trauma, physical, mental, and emotional abuse. Recently, the Amen Clinic and other studies have shown that people who tested positive for are showing about 10 years on average of aging to the brain. Have you noticed or know people in your life that since having that have stated that they have a foggy brain, that tasks that they were once able to do seem difficult, exhaustion? So what does brain trauma look like? Cognitive fatigue, difficulty completing tasks that used to be easy or without stress, confusion, losing track of where you are in a conversation, becoming easily overwhelmed, anger, anxiety, fear, frustration, headaches, head pressure, or this head halo that can sometimes feel like rays coming out of your head, slurring your words, reactionary, avoiding making phone calls, checking your emails, and filling out paperwork. Maybe texting has also become a point of frustration. Becoming sensitive to light, especially LED lights, which tend to be in most people's homes now, in all of our screens, and in a lot of places where we do our shopping. Closing your eyes to hear other people speak. Vertigo, exhaustion, new and or long-term limitations that seem to be easy for others, such as working out. Depression, sadness. Now, some of these might sound like symptoms you would hear from someone who's diagnosed with PTSD, ADHD, anxiety, or depression. Here's what's not commonly discussed. Cognitive fatigue or sensory overload triggers anxiety, and anxiety triggers cognitive fatigue or sensory overload. Bringing this full circle, I knew that I needed to take the reins in my own healing, and I went through 3 years of dedicated focus to my recovery. I was already a trained Reiki practitioner and Theta healing practitioner. I knew I had some skills there, but also knew I needed to acquire some more. I went on to become a trained and certified Kundalini yoga teacher, and I focused on balancing the meridians of the brain and also how to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system. Through all of my training, I found techniques that supported me in regaining my cognitive function, that helped me build new neurological pathways. In fact, two of the best specialists that I would say are top in their field told me that the methods I was utilizing would help me far beyond anything that they could offer me. I was able to bring my brain back online. I went on to start a new business, continued parenting my children, and I was able to manifest a life that I felt really good about. I look back on everything I went through, and I believe it was for a divine purpose. Throughout my years of training and study as a healer, there's a saying that comes up over and over: healer, heal thyself. There's also another experience we often talk about. It's called the shaman's death. It's frightening, but it's an opportunity to face your fears, to go through the darkest night of the soul and come out victorious. And I'm here for it. I want to help support you in your walk, in your path to healing. I'm taking my experience and I've put it together in a 31-day course. Heal the Brain, Balance the Mind is a 31-day program. I will teach you all of the methods and techniques that I learned and practiced to heal my brain and bring balance to my mind and nervous system. If you're struggling with anxiety, depression, ADHD, ruminating and intrusive thoughts, this course will also be beneficial for you. This course is about rebuilding the brain, healing the nervous system, and rebuilding neurological pathways. We do this by redirecting the brain over and over, training the brain to behave in a way that we decide. It's empowering. It's empowering, and it's a peaceful process. In our 31 days, you will gain access to all of the steps and methods, the tens and thousands of dollars of specialists that I met with that helped me get to where I am today. We'll be meeting 6 times as a group via Zoom. This will be key for your support and learning, because not only will you be learning from me, but you'll also be learning from each other. During the weekdays, you're going to be tracking your progress and utilizing the methods I'm giving you. You will receive recorded meditations that you'll practice every day. We'll be meeting with an exercise trainer because exercise is actually quite important for rebuilding your brain. Worksheets and planners to support you in your decision making and also in your organization. I guarantee that you will find support and healing, not only for yourself, but also for your loved ones. If you'd like to join this course or you have any additional questions, you can send me a direct message or visit my website and go to the contact page and send me an email there. May you be blessed always. Satnam.